What is going on, community? What is going on, people of Earth? I am TJ, aka Flash by Night, and this year, for the third year in a row, I made it to Heroes Con in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you have not heard of Heroes Con is the comic book collectors' Comic Con. Most Comic Cons have gone the way of pop culture and have invited more celebrities, more movie stars, more multimedia access to the cons. But Heroes Con has kind of stuck to its guns, if you will. There's a few more things to do and to see besides comic books at the con, but comic books are the center of the con. Now, my experience wasn't perfect, not because of the con, because life happens, and I only made it for one day. I made it in Sunday. I took a trip starting at 2 a.m. from Alabama, where I am, and went to Charlotte. Got there, got to walking around, spent most of the day on my feet getting done as much as I could get done, and then drove back to Alabama that same day because I had a passenger that I needed to pick up in Charlotte as a part two to my trip. But we did have fun. We accomplished the things that we wanted to accomplish, and I even got to do a little bit of hunting. So for those who don't know, the things I wanted to do when I got up there were get a few signatures and then take a look at some independent comic creators and grab some of their books. And then if we had time, hang out with the community, maybe do some digging, all of those things I got done. So let's start at the beginning with the signatures that I grabbed. So the first signature that I'm showing, not necessarily the first signature that I got for the day. I think the order I'm going in works better, flows better. But the first signature I got was from Larry Hama. This is Howard the Duck, the holiday special. Now, I just picked this up on Free Comic Book Day in my shop. I didn't know it existed. I had never seen it before. I saw it on the wall, and I had to get it because I may have never come across it again. And lo and behold, it was written by Larry Hama, and so I got Larry Hama to sign it. That's what's up. The next book I got signed is my Transformers the movie adaptation facsimile, and it was written by Ralph Macchio, or the original version was written by Ralph Macchio, and he was at the con. I've seen him once or twice already. We chopped it up a little bit. Really, really nice guy. He told me a story that I did not know about because I brought my Storefolio with the True Believers version of Moon Knight issue number 1 on the front. And that kind of got him to spark up a conversation about Moon Knight and about Bill Sienkiewicz. And the reason we have Bill Sienkiewicz being that DC didn't feel they needed him. I'm going to leave the story at that. But DC said no, Marvel said yes. We have Bill Sienkiewicz, and the rest is history. This is probably the first time I've gotten a signature by this person. I take that back. I got gifted a book with this person's signature, but this is the first time I've had a book signed by Jenny Frison. So this is Batman Deadpool issue number 1, the Jenny Frison variant. And she put her signature right there. It's a little bit harder to see with the glare, but it's there. Now, the next book up comes with a funny story. This is Moon Knight issue number 9, David Finch cover with Moon Knight and Punisher. And this is also the first interior work, or at least first interior full book from Marvel for Miko Suayan. Now, I have a copy of this book that has David Finch's signature, and my purpose for the trip, or one of my purposes for the trip, was to get Miko and Finch on a cover. But instead of bringing the Finch cover I already had signed, I brought a regular cover for Miko to sign and to try and get David Finch. I did not get David Finch, so I have one signature on one book, one signature on the other. Hopefully both show up in 2027 and we can get right. But we did get right with a couple of Transformers books. This is Transformers issue number 16, of course with DWJ, with Mike Spicer also signing, and cover artist Miko Swayon. So we got the trifecta on this cover. And another Transformers cover where we have the trifecta. We have Transformers issue number 1, of course with DWJ, of course with Mike Spicer, and with John Jang's signature on the cover. Again, trifecta. I think that's 5 covers in all I have of Transformers with Daniel Warren Johnson, Spicer, and the cover artist. Can't complain, can't complain. All right, the next book I have, or the next 3 books, are from Sanford Greene. This is Excellence issue number 2, cover art by Sanford Greene, and Sanford Greene signature. Next we have Absolute Green Lantern issue number 12 with the Sanford Greene signature. And then last but not least is a book I left at home last year and regretted it for a whole year. Literally thought about it like once a week. This is Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 8. Now, with the Sanford Greene signature. I wanted to get to Hayden Sherman, but he was one of the people that I did not get to during the con. And I've got a couple of other ones I'm going to mention, because everything didn't go absolutely right. Most of it did, but we did miss a couple of things. Like I said, I really wanted to meet David Finch and get him to sign this book. I have a couple of David Finch signatures, but this would have been the icing on the cake. Maybe next year. Brian Stelfreeze. I've been trying to get this guy for 3 years, but each time I come down, I've only been down for a day. Time was crunched, and either he was busy with stuff like art auctions and things like that, or just bad timing. But one day, I'm going to get Brian Stelfreeze's signature on this book. And last but not least, I missed out on Carrie Andrews. And the reason why I wanted Carrie Andrews' signature is twofold. A, because I love this cover. But B, there's a signature that I don't recognize that I haven't been able to find out about in years. And I really want to know whose signature it is. And I'm wondering if Carrie Andrews or either one of the creators could tell me whose signature that is. I was going to ask this year, but like I said, I ran out of time. But it's okay. We'll get it next year. Hopefully. Now that we've talked about my first goal, let's start on the second goal, which is to stop by and support some indie comic book creators. We're going to start with Ballad of the Black Rose by Bequest Studios, I believe that is. Of course, it is a Western, as you can see. I don't know a ton about it, but I wanted to pick it up and give it a try. I've seen the name around a couple of times, and it is by some creators that I trust. Creators that I trust, like the crew at Fourth Wall. So this is Harlem, issue number 1, written by Morgan Iverson, who also writes Lumberjacks. This, like Lumberjacks, is a character in the Ace Blade universe over at Fourth Wall. Speaking of the Ace Blade universe, I'm still picking up Ace Blade. This is Ace Blade issue number 9. And the last book I picked up from that crew. Ace Blade issue number 10. This is the Sanford Dream variant. I was actually scared I wouldn't get this cover that I wanted, but we've got it. And the last thing I picked up from that crew, I believe he's part of that crew, is a guy named Wally McNair. He's fantastic artist, and he had a whole bunch of prints, including, of course, one of my favorite topics. And I picked up this print of the crew, affectionately known as the Seekers, Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. Needless to say, I am pleased, and needless to say, I will be back again to get something else. And now that we've knocked the 2 goals for the con out of the way, like I said, I was there for a day. I didn't have a ton of time, but I did make a few minutes to do some digging. And once I started digging in some $1 boxes, I just couldn't stop. So let's look at what I got. And if you want to put this on like 1.5 speed, I wouldn't blame you, because I've got a few books to show. First book up is Street Fighter issue number 1 from Malibu Comics. Of course, I couldn't pass it up. I've been doing some Street Fighter collecting as of late. Not heavy, but when I come across it, I grab it. Then we have Cage issue number 4. And I don't remember if I have this issue or not, but if I do, I've got another one. Then we've got some Miles from his first go around in the 616. We have Spider-Man issue number 235. And issue number 236 with this newer version of the Sinister Six. Then we've got 237 with Miles getting jacked up by the Hobgoblin. And then we're going to skip on over to Civil War issue number 2 with Spider-Man issue number 6. Then we have Spider-Man issue number 8. And this gnarly version of Venom, I'm not sure who or what it is, but Spider-Man issue number 9, all part of Civil War 2. Now, this is a book I was very happy to get for $1. This is Rise of the Powers of X, issue number 2. But you know I love my David Mack covers. I love my Storm covers. So this is a match made in heaven. I don't know much about this. This is X-Men Worlds Apart. But I do like this cover. And then we have Doctor Strange Damnation, issue number 1. I saw this in the dollar bin and I had to pick it up because, if I'm not mistaken, this is Moon Knight's first foray into the world of the Midnight Suns. And if you've been following me, you know we're coming closer and closer to touching on this subject again. And then this is Doctor Strange Damnation, issue number 2. I believe this particular event went either 5 or 6 issues, but this is a nice cover on Doctor Strange Damnation, issue number 3. And then we have Doctor Strange Damnation, issue number 4. And we have Moon Knight being the only crazy person to grab the fiery bars. I have no clue what will make him do that, besides him being Moon Knight. Either way, we'll have to pick up the rest of those sometime in the future. Next book we have Avengers Origin Luke Cage. And this is Invincible Iron Man, issue number 593, with Ironheart on the cover. Next up, we have First Strike from IDW, which was a big crossover between G.I. Joe, Mask, Rum, Transformers. I'm not sure if any other groups were in there, but I know that those were in this event. Next book, Superbad James Dynamite, The Takedown, issue 2, I believe it is. Yeah, go ahead, take it in all its glory. Don't shy away from it. Look at it. Then I think the rest of these are Black Panther books. We have issue number 5 from Christopher Priest. Next book with an awesome cover. This is issue number 49 from Christopher Priest. I really like this cover. I think this is Reginald Hudlin on Black Panther issue number 8. And this is Reginald Hudlin's Black Panther issue number 10. Then we have Black Panther issue number 22. It's part of the Civil War event. And issue number 24. Then we have Black Panther issue number 26. I think this was sometime around the time that Black Panther and Storm were part of the Fantastic Four. I don't know too much about that, but I believe that happened. Issue number 27. I think maybe a little bit more proof that that happened. I'm going to have to read up on that. Then we have Black Panther issue number 33. And then we're getting into the Ta-Nehisi Coates era with, I think, the third printing of Black Panther issue number 2. And this is a cover I really like. This is Black Panther issue number 12. And here we go with Black Panther issue number 13. And last but not least of this haul of dollar books, Black Panther 166. I believe this is when we get into Marvel Legacy. Yeah. And that was the pickup or pickups for Heroes Con and my little bit of digging that I got to do. Anyway, I appreciate you sticking around and watching till the end if you got here. And if you enjoyed yourself, hit that like button. And if you want to keep up with me, picking up comics, getting comics signed, or maybe making it to another con or two, we'll see. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Of course, feel free to leave comments. But as we always do at this time, love yourself, love others, and I will try to be back in the Flash.